Hey everyone. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. Like, or at least something that doesn't have anything to do with movies. I think maybe a year, maybe over a year, maybe 2 years. I'm not sure. It's been a while. So, it's raining. It's about 3:15 in the morning. I can't sleep. I'm not particularly tired. And so, I will just talk for a bit. Someone earlier was asking me about places where I've lived. I've lived a lot of different places in my life. And so I started talking about one experience I had when I was 14. When I was 14, I lived in Guadeloupe. It was the French West Indies. I lived there with my sister, one of my sisters, on a goat farm. And we didn't have like a computer or anything like that. We had, I guess you could say it was cable. There are only 3 channels, 4 channels on a good day, but usually 3, and that was iffy at best. And also, I think the island kind of stole like satellite from other people, at least from other islands, because you could be in the middle of watching a program and then suddenly it would change to something completely different. It could be an entirely different language and have absolutely nothing to do with whatever it was that you were watching. There's some weird stuff that came on that television. Some really, really weird stuff. But there's one time that I was thinking about in particular was when we went up into the rainforest. We went to the rainforest kind of often because, well, there wasn't much else to do on the island. Well, I guess there are a lot of outdoorsy things, but you can only go to the beach so much. And the beach is right there. It's an island. You're surrounded by the ocean. And so we were going to go up to the rainforest. And so because of that, we had to borrow a car. Because my sister had this truck. I think it's like a Mazda truck, maybe. I don't remember. Because you have a lot of trucks in the islands that you don't find in the US, like companies that you didn't realize made trucks, like pickup trucks, things like that. But I think this was a Mazda. And we called it Schlepp Car because it was a wonder that thing ever drove. It really, really was. Like it would make this rattling noise. And also my sister didn't know how to drive a stick. And this is a volcanic island, so it's nothing but hills. She didn't know how to drive a stick. She had to learn within like half an hour how to drive it. And so it would make this rattling noise, and we'd have to take it to a mechanic, and he would like open up the hood and like bend something. It would be okay, and then it would rattle again. We'd have to go back there, and he'd bend it back into place. It would be fine. That's how mechanics work there, and it worked. It worked. So, but we couldn't take Schlepp car up into the mountains of the rainforest. So we had to borrow this guy's car. Alain. He loved red. He had these red leather pants that he would always wear all the time. We had to borrow his car, but only when it wasn't raining. Because if it was raining, the car wouldn't start. So we had to borrow his car. The rear view mirror was held on by a string. And so it would move all around because it was on a string, like this embroidery thread. And like he said, that way you can see everything. Yeah, because it wasn't stationary. And you couldn't get in through the driver's side door because it was like welded shut. So you had to get in through the passenger door. It was infested with ants. But anyway, when it was raining, it couldn't start in the rain. So we had to get it going beforehand and then hope that it wouldn't rain when we were up in the rainforest. So we took this car up to the rainforest and we spent the day there. It was gorgeous, really, really beautiful, really high up. But like a lot of like French territories, there doesn't seem to be any sort of concept of the guardrail. So you had to be really careful when driving around because it's cliff. Like if you like one wrong move and like you're over the cliff, you'd be dead. It was really high up there. You'd be dead. So we go up there, we spend the day, we get some French fries. Or French fry stands everywhere. And on the way back, we're driving back down this mountain. Everything's going, listening to music, having a lot of fun, laughing. And then from out of nowhere, this cockroach. It was like this big. The thing was so huge. You don't realize, if you've never been to the islands, especially in like a rainforest type of setting, like jungle, land that time forgot type of setting, you don't fully realize the size that some insects can get. And this cockroach was like the size of my hand. It was huge. And it landed on my sister's leg. It took up like almost her entire calf. And she just let out this blood-curdling scream. And whenever she screamed, and this is also how we ended up running into the wall when we were on a scooter because of a bottle. But that's another story that I have to talk about at some point in time. She almost killed us. We had to hitchhike. But anyway, so she screams, and whenever she screams, she lets go of the wheel. And so, of course, we're going back down this mountain, and so we have like tires off the cliff, and so I had to grab onto the thing, pull it back to get us back onto the road because she's screaming because this roach is on her leg, and I'm not even sure what happened to the cockroach. I remember it going on her leg, and then suddenly it wasn't there. I don't remember what we did, if I grabbed the thing and threw it. I don't know. Who knows what happened to that thing? That part is gone from my memory. But yeah, that's how I was almost killed by a cockroach.